Hey, yo, what's going on, man? I just seen this video, right? I seen this video of this dude, right? I seen this video of this dude, this older man, and he had found some weed in his son's bag, and so he was getting ready. He's getting ready to chastise his son for having the weed in his bag. So when his son pulled up, I don't know if it was a skit or not, but it was like a whole bag of weed, like a whole big old plastic bag, a zip bag of weed, big old zip bag of it looked like weed. I don't know, it probably wasn't. It probably, like I said, it probably was a skit. But his son pulled up and he goes, "Yo, man, what you doing? You're not going my route. You're not going my route. I used to be a drug dealer. You know I used to be a drug dealer. You ain't going my route." And I'm just listening to this shit. And this man, he just kept talking about, "Oh yeah, I used to sell drugs. You know I used to sell drugs. I was one of the biggest drug dealers in Miami, Florida. You know I was one of the, but nah, I don't want you to go my route. I'll put you through school." And I'm saying, listening to this shit like, and it's like I'm so sick and tired of hearing old niggas talk about what they used to do, like, like, like subliminal, like not subliminally, but like in the background bragging about it, but at the same time trying to tell you don't do it, but they bragging. "Yo, I used to sell all this drug. I used to be a major drug dealer. Yo, I used to sell mad drugs in the. Yo, I used to be that nigga, but I don't do that no more because I changed my life and I realized, like, listen, man. If and I always tell y'all in my videos, you have to be a perfect parent. You have to be a perfect parent. If you don't want your kid to stray away from what you got, from what the direction that you have for them, you have to be a perfect parent. And that means that shit like bragging about you selling drugs, bragging about what you used to do, you can't let your child know your past. You can't let your child know your past, man, because they're gonna bring up your past. Your child is gonna bring up your past. If you used to be a drug dealer and you said something to your kids about it, they're going to bring it up. They're going to bring up your past. Your kids gonna bring up your past. There's no way around it. They're going to bring up your past. And then they're gonna also use your past as an excuse to do what the fuck they're doing. So basically, if you was a young woman, if you was a stripper when you was younger, and then you had a child, and you let your child know, "Yeah, girl, I used to be a stripper," bruh, your child is going to bring up your past being a stripper. Some things you just don't tell your kids. Some things you just leave that shit out your life. Forget it. Don't even mention it to your kids. They don't have to know that shit. Your kids don't have to know that you used to be a stripper. Your kids don't have to know that you used to be a gangbanger. Your kids ain't gotta know that you used to be sell drugs. Your kids ain't gotta know that you used to do negative fucked up shit. That's something your child don't have to know. You knew. You knew, right? You knew it. Niggas in the hood knew it. So you ain't gotta talk about it to your kids. "Yo, man, I used to be the nigga, but I used to be the illest drug dealer in my state, man. But I chill, you know what I'm saying?" Bro, don't nobody care. And this is the reason why these kids are doing what they're doing, because they use that shit against you. They use it. They say, "Hell, you used to do it. Why I can't do it? You used to do it. Why I can't do it?" That's why you got so many. That's why you got so many uh, mothers raising stripper kids, because you're a stripper, and you have no problem telling your kids or showing your child that you strip. So now when your daughter gets older in her teens, 14, 15, 16, and she starts twerking on Instagram, and the next thing you know, she's twerking in school. Next thing you know, she's going to house parties, twerking in house parties. The next thing you know, when she graduating from school, or either when she's in school, she talking about she's going to after hour place to go strip. You can't get mad at her because you let your child know that you was a stripper. You put all that bullshit in your child's face for your child to absorb, and now she wants to emulate her mother, or he wants to emulate his father. Now, because his father was a big time drug dealer, he wanted to be a big time drug dealer. You know what I'm saying? Because his father was. He trying to emulate his father. Hell, if his father did it, why I can't do it? A lot of that shit, you know what I'm saying? It's just like motherfucker, just like basketball players. A lot of basketball players got sons. And just because the father was a big time basketball player, the son now wants to play basketball because his dad did. And it's the same thing with anything negative. If okay, so say for instance, like, okay, I don't know if y'all ever heard of the notorious 50 Cent. Uh, they said 50 Cent had a son, and now they was talking about how 50 Cent's son was going around New York trying to rob people, but he got killed trying to emulate the lifestyle of his father because his father was a notorious stick-up dude. Okay, bro, but that ain't got nothing to do with that. That's not your route. Just because your father took the route of robbing and stealing and sticking up people, that's not your route. You feel what I'm saying? But it's like y'all brag about the bullshit that y'all used to do or y'all did. That influences your kids to want to do it. You feel what I'm saying? Like, bro, like if you a stripper, mom, if you're a stripper, you ain't gotta go home and tell your kids you're a stripper, man. Yo, you gotta look honestly, for real, for real. If you are a stripper and you got daughters, hide all aspects of your stripping life. You don't want your children to do that. Hide all aspects of it. Don't be those type of mothers that want to be friends with your daughters and let your daughter know everything you do. Be the type of mother that hides your life, that part of your life. Hide it. Hide it. And if you got a job, that's the part of your life that you want your kids to see. That you're working, you're going to work every day. You know, you hide that part of your life about stripping. You don't want your child to know that you're a stripper. And that's the thing about our black women, man. Y'all feel like I don't hide nothing from my kids. I let my kids know everything. Yeah, and that's why your kids grow up fucked up. That's why your kids grow up disrespecting you, fucked up, and doing the same negative bullshit you was doing. Because you don't hide nothing. I let my kid. I be real honest with my kids. I be telling the truth with my kids. Yeah, that's where you fuck up at. Man, some shit you just gotta not say nothing to your kids about. I ain't saying a lot to them, but just don't bring it up. Don't bring it up. Don't let your kids know, and stop with these goddamn stripper poles in the house. Man, that is the most ghetto, weirdest shit I ever seen in my life. Going into a fucking woman house that got kids and she got a fucking stripper pole. Like, what the fuck is this? Why do you have a stripper pole in your living room? Oh man, because I be trying to practice how to view in a pole, because I might want to strip one day, but you got daughters, you got little girls, and you know they on the motherfucking pole too. So it's like, come on, man. Like, come on, black people, we gotta do better, man. We gotta do better. Stop bragging about your look, OGs, unks, and all y'all. Stop bragging about that bullshit that y'all did to y'all kids. Stop bragging about that shit. That old shit that y'all did, selling drugs and sticking up. Man, stop bragging about that shit to y'all kids. That shit is not cute. That shit ain't cool. What your kid need to know now is that you was a working dad. That's what they need to know. They don't need to know nothing about you used to sell drugs, you was a stick up nigga, none of that shit. What they need to know now is that daddy get up every day and go to work. That's what they need to see, and that's what they need to know about their dad. Same thing with the mom. They don't need to know mom is a stripper, mom is a whore. They don't need to know none of that shit. What they need to know is that mom get her ass up every day and go to work. That mom supports her. That's what they need to know. That mom gets up, go to work every day, has a legitimate job. That's what they need to know. Stop showing your kids that negative side of your life. They don't need to see that. They don't need to see that.